Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. Born as the son of a poor farmer, his dream was grand, to become the richest man in the world. This ambition made him not only the greatest drug lord in history, but also one of the world's most wanted criminals. In the 1970s, he established the Medellín Cartel, building an empire in the cocaine trade. Escobar controlled 80% of the cocaine shipped to the U.S. He was making millions of dollars a day, with so much money to hide that billions were eaten by rats each year. But Escobar was not just a criminal. He was also a paradox. By building houses, football fields, and schools for the poor of Medellín, he transformed into a folk hero. People called him Colombia's Robin Hood. However, behind this innocent facade lay blood, fear, and death. His silver or lead.
For you, against Dr. Cesar Gaviria, Dr. Gaviria never says anything. Pablo Escobar, Gaviria's doctor, endured all of Pablo Escobar's bombings. Dr. Gaviria, I welcome you to a 5-star hotel. Dr. Gaviria assigned him the guard he wanted so he could. Dr. Gaviria let him go and didn't discharge him. The search group paid for the 10 million that we gave them, but they cancelled it.
Policy, or plata o plomo, dictated bribery or death to officials. Hundreds of police officers, judges, and politicians were killed under his orders. Bombings, plane explosions, and assassinations of presidential candidates were symbols of Escobar's reckless power. In 1991, he surrendered to the Colombian government on his own terms and moved into La Catedral, a luxury prison he named himself. But don't be fooled by the term prison. It was a mansion equipped with football pitches, bars, and jacuzzis. However, this situation didn't last long. His escape led to one of the largest manhunts in history. Hundreds of security forces and U.S. special units were searching for Escobar everywhere. And finally, on December 2nd, 1993, death found him on the rooftops of Medellín. Escobar's story is not just the rise and fall of a criminal. It's also a tale of power, ambition, and uncontrollable violence. His name still echoes as a controversial legend, Pablo Escobar, folk hero or history's most dangerous criminal. The decision is yours.
He used to smuggle drugs, then he got caught and he became one of the government's most valuable informants in the war against cocaine. But last night in Louisiana, Barry Seal's enemies caught up with him and killed him. Tonight, 3 men are in custody. NBC's Brian Ross reports that Seal was about to testify for the government once again.
Authorities believe last night's machine gun killing of top drug informant Barry Seal was ordered by drug bosses in Medellín, Colombia, who sent 5 men to Baton Rouge to kill Seal. Seal's son, Barry Jr., one of 5 children, was restrained by police, who said the gunman had waited in ambush for Seal at a Salvation Army shelter, where Seal had been sentenced by a federal judge on a drug charge to do community service. Seal was a tough guy TWA pilot who got caught smuggling cocaine and became one of the most important and daring undercover operatives, infiltrating the top Colombian drug operations. In a recent interview, Seal said he knew he was risking his life.
The old saying, if you can't stand the heat, don't work in the kitchen. I can take the pressure.
It was Seal who posed as a smuggler and flew into Nicaragua and took these pictures showing Colombian drug dealers and Sandinista officials loading cocaine on his plane. Seal busted up the Colombian connection in the Caribbean country of Turks and Caicos, setting up a payoff meeting on videotape that led to the arrest and conviction of the country's prime minister. And Seal was scheduled to be the key witness against this man, Jorge Ochoa, the top Colombian drug boss, now in jail in Spain, about to be extradited to the United States. Authorities say the Ochoa drug organization was responsible for the bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Bogota last year. the assassination of Colombia's Attorney General, and now the murder in Louisiana of the man who was perhaps the most important undercover drug informant ever. Brian Ross, NBC News.